you guys are going to be able to see me being incredibly skeptical in a YouTube video. Now, okay, I am really skeptical of this one. So Chris Johnson recently kind of sent some waves in the NHL trade rumor mill, where he predicted that the Edmonton Oilers will go ahead and eventually they will end up with John Gibson somehow. I mean, there's some cap gymnastics they would have to pull, but we're going to go over that today. Now, I am going to be on the more skeptical side of this. However, I will say something. Sometimes when insiders are saying something, they know that teams have been talking to some degree, but they might just not want to say it for that particular thing or whatever. So, John Gibson. Now, I'm going to make an argument for the other side. I disagree with this argument. I'm skeptical of the Oilers getting John Gibson. That's my opinion on it. But I'm going to make an argument for the other side because I kind of like steel-manning other people's arguments and saying, okay, like let's have a conversation about this. What could the possible benefits of getting John Gibson be? I'm not saying I agree with this again. The possible benefits could be some, okay? So there's one thing that he is above league average this year with his save percentage, which is just factually true, right? His save percentage currently is .909 and a 2.93 goals against average. I know it seems weird to say that's above league average, but it actually is. If you look into the data online, you can find it that the average save percentage this year for a goalie is like 900. Now, I know that might seem surprising and pretty low. It is. That's because NHL save percentage for goalies have been dropping every single year. Like 5 years ago, it was like 910 or 909, and then 907 and 906, and then 903, and then 900. We actually probably could see an NHL save percent average below 900 next year as the average of all goalies out there. So he has been not terrible this year, right? He's been above average. Now, without counting the contract, is he better than Stuart Skinner? This is going to be something that's really hard to analyze, and this is another argument you can use for the people that want John Gibson, and it could go like this. It could say like, okay, he is on a terrible team, and then it's very possible that if he goes to the Oilers, who are a legitimately good team, he could look a lot better. A lot of players do get invigorated when they go to better teams. It happens all the time where you have a player that's just toiling away in a garbage franchise. No offense, Anaheim. And, they just turn out to be a lot better in their new franchise. It happens, but that's very risky, right? Now, both of the Edmonton Oilers goalies this year have a below league average save percentage, right? So it's not unreasonable at all for the Oilers want to improve here. I know we're talking a lot about defense with the Oilers, and we should be, but it can't be overlooked that the Edmonton Oilers have a below league average goalie right now. Now, I understand that he brought them to the Cup Finals and whatnot, but still, right? I mean, an 898 and an 894 is not a very good save percentage if you're a cup contending team. So it is actually completely reasonable to want to upgrade your goaltending, but this one is very questionable, right? Now, the argument against acquiring Gibson, I think I agree with this argument, and it goes like this. John Gibson, he's getting paid an ass ton of money. He's getting paid like a lot of money. And furthermore, he's been below average, and you could be stuck with that player, right? His UFA expiry status is in 2027, right? That's still a ways off. So if it doesn't work out, he legitimately, you're going to have to deal with that contract. It's going to be like another Jack Campbell situation. And again, I understand that Anaheim is a bad team to the proponents that want to get John Gibson, but you have to understand that he's been below league average, and even if he's playing on a bad team, you still do need to look at it that he should be still above league average if he is a star goalie. You can't completely use that excuse always, because if you're a stud goalie, you need to be a stud goalie even when you're on a bad team. I mean, Igor Shesterkin has been he's actually got a 908 save percentage this year, but he is still, the Rangers aren't particularly good defensively the past number of years, in my opinion. He's just covered up for a lot of their warts. And but even this year, even with the Rangers being atrocious defensively, he's still above water, right? And it's really just concerned me over the past number of years of just how below league average John Gibson has been. Like, I am really, really nervous about signing goalies, especially when, they're just voodoo. They're just voodoo. You just never know what you're going to get from them. And unless they are a consistent, goalie that every single year gives you something, I'm very skeptical of this one. Now, Levins, who is a Edmonton writer, I believe, did throw a little cold water on this. And I mean, if you don't want John Gibson, you should be happy that he threw cold water on this. Essentially, he's taken it with a grain of salt that the Edmonton Oilers probably aren't going to be interested in a player like this. Again, the one thing that worries me, though, is when teams consistently are linked to a player by credible insiders. That does mean something. It's not nothing, right? There's a reason that they're getting linked there. Because here's the thing. Teams talk all the time. They talk all the time, always. They're always chatting. They're always talking. I'll bet you any money that his name has came up, and you don't know what other goalies are available, and the Edmonton Oilers are probably a little bit desperate. I do actually think the one thing I'll disagree with most people will say they don't need an apparent upgrade there. I actually disagree with that. I actually don't mind the Oilers upgrading their goaltending. I actually think that's completely reasonable to have more depth in goaltending, in my opinion, for the Oilers. So anyways, I'm going to leave the video there. I just wanted to touch on this NHL trade rumor. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it, guys, and have a great day. Goodbye.